What's up, guys? Day number 47 here. It's time to go. We got to get things moving. We really got to get things moving. It's time to go. Yeah, my goal is pretty much just to let you guys in on a bit of my life. I have to get moving. It's legitimately time to go for me. I'm trying to plan ahead for the fact that I will be moving. I will be moving yet again. Sadly, my time in Brazil is coming to an end, at least for the foreseeable future. And for that purpose, yeah, I have to deal with a lot of things. I have to deal with what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I got to deal with a bunch of things. Brazil definitely has my heart. I'll probably be back here at some point, but yeah, alas, it's really time to go. What is this? I'm just going to take here. I don't think this is that bad. If he wants to sack the piece, we're playing this guy from Brazil. What flare is that? Is that a Christmas tree? Merry Christmas, buddy. Merry Christmas, bro. Queen h5, I'm not sure what this is about. Bro is checking all over the place. It's not going to end well, though. I'm just up a pawn for nothing. Sure, he's doubled my pawns. They're not particularly ugly, though. Let's play a6. Keep pushing his pieces around. All right. Play e5. I'm going to castle next. Had a great day today. Did a lot of things. Recorded a Title Tuesday. Didn't record a Title Tuesday. We did a live stream. Live stream was a lot of fun. Live stream was a ton of fun. I have to figure out some of the settings, though. Yeah, there's a big problem with the live streams. I can't figure out a way to set them on monetization. So effectively, I'm just not making any money from them. But okay, this position is fantastic. I'm just up a pawn here for absolutely nothing. Knight is locked out. Not a problem in the world here. Knight f3 could be interesting because, of course, knight f3 takes. I'll just take with the queen. Knight f3 looks really silly. Knight f3 would be really silly. Let's just double on the f-file. There's really no need for any fuzzy business here. I'm loving my pawns. He can't break. He can't liberate his position because of the pressure I have on these pawns. Yeah, you know, it's really interesting. I'm at a point in my life, I'm making a lot of progress to all these different goals. But at the same time, the tricky part is that these goals are so enormous in magnitude. Like, for instance, I'm trying to build this channel up. Eventually, I would like this channel to get above 100K and beyond. But just the whole problem with that is that the incremental gains are so small that it almost feels like I'm not making progress, and that's leading to the sense of burnout. So what I've been doing actually to alleviate this burnout is I've just been taking stock of all the things I am doing. And it turns out I'm doing a lot. Like I've been writing down like weekly goals for different things that would mark enormous progress in these different areas of developing the YouTube, working on the courses, all these different things. Because the idea is that, you know, days would go by, weeks would go by, I would feel like I was doing work, and I was in fact doing work. But the problem is that just until I actually like physically finish a course, it's gonna feel like I haven't made any progress. So the difference between being 10% done with the course and 50% done with the course and 70% done with the course, it feels almost the same because I still have to finish a course. All right, we'll play knight d5 here. Yeah, I think everything is going well, though. I'm making a lot of progress. Honestly, the daily videos for YouTube are quite a struggle. Some days I wake up and I just do not want to do the daily video, but, you know, I'm a soldier. I'm soldiering on. It's time to go. It's been flattering, though, to see how much this channel is growing. This channel is growing very fast. People have been getting impatient. I saw Fat Uncle in the comments recently getting very impatient about how slow the channel is growing. Godspeed, Fat Uncle. We'll be fine. We're going to be fine here. How am I going to make progress? I got these wonderful knights here. I should probably trade this knight off. This is the best piece on the board. That's often a simple thing to do. If you want to look for a way to make pressure on your opponent's position, just trade off his best piece. He's doing that. Where should my knight go? Let's play knight e6. Weird pieces. Certainly we got some weird pieces here. I gotta be a little careful here. If queen b3, knight f6 would drop this knight. But I could play knight c5 and just trade off the knight another way. Knight g3. All right, knight g3. That is music to my ears. I guess he's trying for knight h5 or knight e4. We could play knight f4. We're sort of fixing the pawn chain. I don't know if I'm worried about that though. I could take any of the three ways and all of them would be good. Yeah, this position is looking fantastic here. This position is looking very good. Yeah, I'm tallying up all the things I've been meaning to do this week. And the thing is it's a normal week for me, but the fact that I actually tallied up the different things that I'm working on, it makes me feel like I'm making enormous progress. It's not, because you know, when you're feeling exhausted for this long, I've been feeling exhausted literally for months now at this point. When you're feeling exhausted for months and it feels like as long as you're making progress, that's all you need to keep going. That's really all you need to just keep the energy in the tank, to keep getting up in the morning, to keep going through the process, through the habits. Again, to be clear, this is not the Boohoo channel. What I'm doing is I'm just continuing to put in the work, continuing to publish the videos. The idea is that if I do need to take a break, I'll just take one whenever I need to, and just having gone this far, I will have made so much more progress than if I had stopped and just taken a rest earlier on. Yeah, I think we're definitely reaching the escape velocity though with the channel. And what I mean by escape velocity is sooner or later this channel is just going to skyrocket. It's going to happen. You see it with all these other channels. Like they get past a certain number and then all of a sudden they just start growing really exponentially. From what I understand, I think that number is 10K. So that's why I'm really focused on just continuing the daily videos until at least we get to 10K, then I might take a bit of a break. But yeah, regarding my currently very busy schedule, I need to, okay, so he dropped a knight. That's perfect. What I'm planning on doing is that I'm gonna be in Miami for at least 2 weeks and I'm not gonna be close to this computer. So, you know, how am I gonna publish my daily videos? How's that even gonna work? Let's just trade the queens. Make things simpler. Who would have ever guessed that this is the D pawn? Wait, is that the D pawn? No, sorry, that's the F pawn. It went there and then it went back. Excuse me. We could definitely take this pawn here. Yeah, let's take. I'm attacking this bishop. Very uncomfortable position for him at the moment. If he plays rook d1, we can play knight c5 and drill into d3. Very, very uncomfortable position here. Rook f2. All right, I don't know what that's doing. We'll play knight c5. Bishop takes f4. That's a trick. That's a nifty trick. Can I take on c3? I think if I just take on c3, he's dead lost. There are like 3 pieces that are being hit now, and also knight d3 is a big threat. Too many threats in this position. It's time to go.
Time to go now!
Yeah, this position is bonkers. Bonkers in a good way, though. I'm up several pieces here. All right, takes. He'll play rook c1. I can just take on f4, and he cannot pick up this bishop on account of the back rank mate. He takes there. I'll just do this, though. Too many things are hanging here. Bishop is hanging, rook is hanging. I guess you could try rook c1. I'm not sure how that would go, though. Rook c1. We have lots of tactics there. Probably the simplest is knight d3. I'm taking with a check. I'm going to take this pawn. All right, and that's mate. That was a tricky game. 1901. We did it, everyone. 1901. We are now less than 600 points away from the finest victory. Knight f6. Going with a lot of Alekhine lately. I find the Alekhine very interesting. I probably shouldn't be playing it against Grandmasters in my days to 3000, but against everyone else, I'm just going to start playing it because it's a really fun opening. Oh, what a sneaky guy. What a sneaky guy. You guys see this? Bro's being hella sneaky here. Let's play e6. You gonna take with the queen? Taking with the queen is not supposed to be good because the whole problem there is I play knight c6 and then he can't actually develop the d pawn on account of bishop b4. I'm gonna go for a really sneaky trick here. Y'all think he's gonna see it? Y'all think he's gonna see it. He's 1900. He's 1900. He has to see it. We're being hella sneaky here. Yeah, he saw it. That was too sneaky. That was rambunctiously sneaky. Let's go for some more sneaky stuff, though. All right, actually, though, this has accomplished something. The whole idea now is this bishop and pawn are going to be met perfectly by my knight coming to c5. Like all grandmasters, there does need to be a deeper point behind my moves. It can't just be for sneaky points. I'm going to play bishop d7, bishop c6. Bishop is going to be great here. You know, at the moment, my knight is defending this pawn, so bishop d7, bishop c6. This is happening at the perfect time. I guess I can't play it, though, right now. He's going to try knight b5. Let's just play bishop d7. I can cash out with this later. Now if knight b5, I can take. I can take, he takes, then I take here, he takes, and he has tripled pawns. A very weird set of tripled pawns. They're not particularly bad. What a weird position. What a mind-blowing position. Yeah, everything is, honestly, like, it's a very weird sentiment I have. It's a weird, I don't know why I chose that word sentiment. Very weird mood I'm in at the moment. I feel extremely productive. I am a bit exhausted, but, you know, when I look back, I look at all the videos I've made, all the, just all the content I've put out. I also, like, worked really hard on these bird updates. So, like, progress is being made. I think that's a really important thing in the human condition. Like, as long as you feel that progress is being made, any amount of work is sort of manageable. As long as you can see the goal that you're working toward. Back in the day, I was in several jobs where I didn't really know, like, I pretty much didn't know why I was doing them because they weren't really making me any money. They weren't getting me anywhere closer to my goals. And that was a very sad existence. That was a very painful existence. But as long as you have some goal that you're actually working to, then it's okay. I'm going to play d5 here, just lock the bishop out. I'm not even sure if I want to chop anymore. d5, e5. Also even e5 immediately. What flag? That flag is South Africa. Has to be South Africa. Yeah. That flag is memorable. FIFA World Cup 2010. The Vuvuzelas. Queen h3, that can't be good. We're going to just trade. Play e5. His pawn structure's horrendous. This is a horrendous pawn structure. If he plays knight b5, I'm going to take... Okay, he's not playing knight b5. We should attack the knight first. Let's play bishop c6. Keep pushing the knight around. I need to be a bit careful. D-pawn is weak at the end of the day. We got to be a bit careful here. Let's play d5 now. I'll chop here later. I don't need to chop immediately. It's always better to wait for the perfect moment to chop. Let's play rook e8. If f4, we play e4. If c4, we play d4. I'm slowly going to bring my pieces in. The rook is actually going to be quite annoying here on g6. Plays that. We could play f6. Yeah, I do not want to cede the knight any squares, right? If we play e4, we give the knight one square to go to. I do need to be careful about this, though, because there is a pin here, so maybe he could use the pin, but I don't see how. I don't see how he could use the pin. Rook a1, he's just defending this pawn. Yeah, this is going to be a masterclass. I'm sensing a masterclass here. First of all, let's get the king out of the way. No more pin. Position is really picture perfect here, right? We have beautiful center, no pawn weaknesses. He already has some pawn weaknesses here. If I want, I can always inflict and get a very good trade of knight for bishop here, but I'm waiting for the right time. Maybe here we should go for it, but I don't know. Is there any way I could get a rook here? That would be nice. Yeah, how exactly are we going to do this? This bishop actually has some pressure on the d-pawn now that I'm realizing it. If I play bishop d7, he takes on d5. I don't need to worry about knight f5 at all. I guess he's going to e3. Let's start by putting the knight on f4. f4 is going to be a very nice square to hit the h4 pawn, but maybe... Should I just trade here? Is that simplest? I really don't know. Okay, actually, I think this is best. Let's take and then just play d4. Because now if he takes, these pawns are going to be very ugly. There's no real way for him to deal with this. My bishop is also becoming a monster. Bishop's becoming a fantastic sniper. He goes there. All right, what am I going to do? Go play g6. There's a fruit fly in the house. What is this fruit fly doing in the house? Get out of the house, Sir Fruit Fly. Let's play g6. Knight g3, I'm going to play d3. Very uncomfortable position for, what's this guy's name? Moistly Boy. d3. Threat is bishop f3 and d2. Very uncomfortable position here at the moment. 94 drops this though. d2, he can't defend d1 while also defending the knight. This was in my calculations. This was all part of the plan. It's part of the plan and it's time to go. Nice. 1908, let's keep it going. No rematch. I want to get someone higher. This fruit fly is taunting me. Taunting me like a cat taunts a mouse. All right, we got a bird. I hope this isn't the type of fruit fly that bites. d6. What do we do here? I think we play d4. I think we play d4. I'm not 100% certain, but we do need to be careful about the e5 stuff. It's interesting. Each one of these knight f6 plus d6 and g6 stuff, each one of these differences, you have to be a little bit different about how you respond to them. c5 is the only move here. And we take, a lot of people take back, but this is already better for us. e5, already white is significantly better here. This is the move I recommend in my course. It's only objectively equal, but it's going to take your opponents out of theory. This is a mainline position of the King's Indian. d5 is the theoretically best move, but even so, that just leads to equality. I think d takes is more or less objectively the same value, but it just takes your opponent into deep and dark positions that they're on their own in. And then they're going to hear the final words. It's time to go.
FTV Claude, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked.
It's time to go!
98. All right, we could just start with, what is the plan here? Let's play bishop e3. Attack the pawn. b6, we could play knight d5, attack e7. A very uncomfortable position here. I'd also love to get my bishop out to d3 and e4, but we got to be careful about, we got to be a bit, you know, we got to read the room. We got to be able to make sure that it actually is going to work. All right, I'll play bishop e2. We're going to play king f2 and rook d1. I'd love to get my bishop to e4, but I can't, unfortunately. Yeah, white is definitely better here, though. White is 100% better. These pieces are quite ugly. I can always throw my knight into d5. I'm just waiting for the perfect moment. This knight is going to take a lot of time to slowly fix itself. That's a really bad move, because now this knight is just dead here. I've seen this in another game. There was one game I played in this variation. I literally put my knight here trying to elicit this move so that he would lock this knight out. Knight is going to be very dead here now. I can play rook d1. A good rule of thumb, by the way, guys, is just in general, if you have a dominating position, it is fine to trade off their pieces so long as you're trading off their good pieces. Do not trade off their bad pieces. Trade off their good pieces. If I play knight g5, he plays knight d4. Cannot do that. Let me just keep on gaining space. Let's just play h4 here. I'm going to play g4 and h5. Just going to try to control more and more squares. This knight is completely dead here. I should also play a3 to play b4. That would be a good idea. Yeah, a3, b4 could be a very good idea. It's really time to go. f6, that is a big concession. Actually, that's a great move in this position because now the knight's going to take and it's going to come back to g4. If he were to play this, this is the perfect moment to do so. Yeah, we're playing stronger players now. I'll take. He'll take with the knight and I'll play knight g5. This is getting wild. This is just a wild position. I think this is good for me. I don't know that it's good for me, but I think it's good for me. I'm attacking this pawn. I think I might have messed this up, honestly. I think it might be time for me to go. He plays knight d4. Knight d4, it's just getting wild. I don't know what's happening there. e5. e5 is interesting, but I'm not that concerned about it because now at least we can establish pressure with bishop f3. I got the high ground, so to speak. His knight is frozen here. I was really afraid of his knight getting into d4. Yeah, now I'm a bit more confident. Knight e6 is also possible. I should figure out a way to do that. If we could play knight e6 and get the bishop, that would definitely be an accomplishment. This could be very nice. We gotta get moving. We gotta get moving, and we gotta get going, because it's time to go. Rook e8. How are we gonna do this? Let's keep the pin. Gotta keep the pin. Is he threatening e4? I don't see how e4 would work just yet. Knight b5. Knight b5 looks very good. Well, knight b5 he plays e4 though. Yikes. This is a wacky position. Maybe should I take first? Do we? Yeah, let's take. He cannot take with the knight on account of that. Well, yeah, this position is getting wild. Look at this. Knight takes, bishop takes. He gets the piece back. Knight g4 here and takes, but then I'm able to pick up a piece. Bananas position here at the moment. This is completely bananas. Completely bananas, and it's time to go. All right. Bishop f4, rook f5, g3. His pieces are pinned there. But is it the good type of pin or bad type of pin? Let's go for it. I don't know what's happening. Bishop f4, rook f5, g3. He could play h6. That's a little bit of a spicy position, but it's... I think the pressure I have down here is at least keeping the game balanced. There's a chance, though, there are always these ideas where they play h6 and g5, and all of a sudden I have too many pieces in a line here. So we got to be a bit careful. Definitely we got to be on our toes. Knight b5, knight d6. If I just can get a few moves to play this, that would be great. h6, maybe. Do I play knight e6? Yeah, knight e6 would be better. Rook e8, I can at least take the bishop, get the bishop off the board. I do need to watch out for g5, definitely, though, at that point. But yeah, so h6, knight e6, rook e8, knight takes, king takes. Knight b5 there, he plays g5. All right, so here we'll play knight b5 immediately. This is the perfect moment to do so. Yeah, so h6 we play... Okay, h6 we can't play knight e6. h6 we're going to have to play knight h3. But, I mean, the knight is coming to d6. That looks good. Knight d6 is going to be a really heavy hammer. So a very heavy hammer. Landing on d6 there. I'm starving. I'm going to go play soccer with the boys, though, tonight. Yeah, that actually reminds... I probably have to end this recording to go make myself food. I'm playing soccer in 2 hours. I'm playing soccer at 10 p.m. tonight. So, yeah, we got that going on, and that's something. Yeah, regarding soccer, I stink at soccer. I'm really awful at soccer. But you know, I run around, I can run quickly, and that's like half the battle, they say. That's what they tell me. This position looks good. There's so much firepower in this position with these bishops, these sleeping bishops, sniping from all directions. Rook d8. Can I take? He takes here. No, that doesn't really work. Let's just play knight d6. Rook is trapped. Rook is trapped, bishop is also hit. Yeah, he's in trouble here. This looks resignable already. It looks like it's time to go. The speedrun is going to take forever now. I'm thinking about it, like, we might finish one more game after this one before the end of tonight's speedrun. And it's only going to be like 25 points a speedrun now. Okay, well that just drops a piece. Let's just take this first. I'm taking that. Yeah, still no... If he plays rook takes, we can take with the knight. And he has no threats here. Knight g4. Let's just get out of the way. He wants to play bishop d4. He wants to play bishop d4. King f3 also doesn't work, though, because of knight f5. We play king e1. King e1, actually, there's no checks here after king e1. King e1 is the simplest. Could take this pawn. I'm gonna keep taking things, though. That's not gonna work out. That's not gonna work out for black. It's time to go. 592 points to go in the speedrun. This is gonna be an enormous effort. Can I play knight e4? Knight e4 almost works, but he takes with check. Takes, and then the bishop falls. Yeah, what is the plan here? Can I just take this way? Yeah, this is simplest. Just take. Bishop d5. Bishop d7, actually. No, bishop d7 is even better. Just wins more material. Also covers the checks. That's wild. No checks. Bishop does literally everything. Fantastic bishop here. All right. Nice. Perfect. Let's get another game. Let's get another game before the end of the speed run. All right, f4. Knight f3. You got a bird. It's a bird. It's a bird, and it's time to go b3, a6. So a lot of people have been asking me about this. We'll probably put this in the next batch of updates in the course. Pretty much if they play a6, you could go for bishop d3 or bishop e2 without issue because they're wasting way too much time at this point. b5. b5 is interesting. We could play c4. We could also play a4. I really don't know. c4 takes. That should be fine. Because he can't play d4. That's the really important thing. You do not want to let them play d4. You do not want to play c4 if they can respond with d4. Don't do that. c4, yeah, let's go for it. I don't know what's going to happen exactly. I feel like this has to be sound, though. Especially because we're going to be taking back with a single tempo. This bishop has not even developed. This is going to be the bishop's first developing move. Takes. The structure that you get with these pawns here, if like we take and take, it's just a very weird structure. I'm honestly not sure exactly what's going on in that position. When we play knight e5? Yeah, let's play knight e5. I don't know what's happening here. Don't ask me what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to play rook g1 and g4. Again, we're just going for it. We're going guns blazing. Y'all know why you're watching the channel. It's for the guns blazing. Play knight c3. Takes. Okay, yeah, this is getting ugly. I definitely mismanaged this. This is definitely not the way you're supposed to be playing the bird. But play knight e2. Knight e2 is not the move you want to have to make, though. Yeah, I really mismanaged this. This is just a bad position here, honestly. This is a really bad position. This is why you got to be very careful about when you go for your rook g1 stuff. I'm going to take and just hope that somehow or another I've survived this, but this is not a good position. It shouldn't be the end of the world, but it's bad. It's definitely a bad position. One of the biggest problems here is that they could just play d4. I should not have played the c4 move. I'm going to have to look at this a6 b5 stuff. They're the dogs. Yeah, it's like clockwork. It's around 9 p.m., so it's time for the dogs to start barking. It sounds like the dogs are having a little fight outside. Alright, if I play g4, g5, it doesn't look that bad, but yeah, d4 just completely shackles my bishop, and if d4 you cannot take here, because then the structure just comes undone. d4, I'll have to play knight e2 or knight a4. Knight a4 is not going to work either, though. It's going to be loose there. They'll play something like rook b8 and bishop c6. d4, knight e2, e5. Black is definitely in the driver's seat there. Not the end of the game. Certainly not the end of the game, but black is in the driver's seat. I'm going to have to stomach it in castle queenside. This rook g1 move, this was just too saucy. Way too saucy. I had my mind thinking about that tomato sauce. I'm going to make myself some ravioli here in a second. And yeah, I should have known better. I should have known better. Yeah, the dogs outside are really funny. They're two dogs on opposite sides of the street. So as soon as anyone passes, one of the dogs are alerted and they just start barking, and then the other one barks in retaliation. So as soon as you get one to start barking, it's like an endless, it's like one of those continuous loops. One of the dogs barks, the other one hears the barking and so barks in turn, and so forth. All right, it's time to go. I should be a bit more serious here, because honestly, this is still a bad position. I can talk about the Brazilian dogs all I want. It's not going to change my position. D4, knight e2. Okay, there. I think we have to continue with g4. I think at this point, it's too late to go back. It's too late to say sorry. We got to just go for it. There's really no turning back. D4, G5 takes, I take with the queen. That's starting to make sense. All of a sudden, that makes some sense. It doesn't make dollars, but it does make sense. D4, G5, knight H5, I'm still, at least, okay, no, at that point, all of a sudden, this is fine. You're going to see this all the time. If people in weird positions, even if you're significantly worse, if people make one mistake, all of a sudden, the balance shifts tremendously. E4 threatens to shut my bishop out. Let's first start by installing the bishop on F5. Gonna just ask him some big questions and then play G5. I could have played G5 immediately, actually. All right, let's play G5 here. Takes, looks good. Yeah, takes looks perfect, actually. Boots the knight out. We're gonna take on D5 here. Fantastic position at the moment. Knight D7. Yeah, let's take with the knight. This all of a sudden looks great. My opponent really botched it, didn't he? That one H6 move just ruined everything. I guarantee you I was much worse. Much worse. Enormously worse. E4, that's a good try. That's a good try. But we gotta let black know it's time to go. Gonna put the queen on C3. Queen is going to C3. Black is trying to be sneaky there. Black wants to take the rook. We're not... I'm going for the mate. I don't care. I don't care about the rook, pal. Threaten the mango. Threaten the mango all you want. It's time to go. F6, but now we can play bishop E6 check. I really want to castle queenside. Yeah, let's castle queenside. Really hopeless position now. Takes... Rook takes. I think queen h2 has to be played to stop rook h1. Obviously, though, if you have to play such a move, it's not going well. There were some simpler wins here, honestly. I shouldn't have done this. I should have just played rook g2. Or rook h1 even. Rook h1 and then run my king out. All right, we'll play rook f1 here. Queen g2. I have rook f4. This pawn can never budge on account of the checkmate. Play rook f4 here. Takes on g5. Takes on g5, the game keeps going. Yeah, I should have watched out for this. Okay, well, I don't know what that move was about. There's no check here now. There's no check here now, so it's time to go. We gotta let him know. It's time to go. Takes, rook takes. That looks good. Queen e7 check. King c2. Yeah, no problems there. This is the bird in action. All right, that's over. All right, so we're gonna end day 47 here. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for day number 48. I'll see everyone later.